This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure. And this is my perspective. So today we're talking about this is why Black women stay losing. And when we coming from my perspective, it's a lot of self-inflicted wounds that's going on with Black women that's going to keep them at the bottom, that's going to keep them losing, that's going to keep them from not being able to heal and realize who they are, really realize their true value, and not just saying I know my worth because that's a nice little cliche to tweet or to put on Instagram or wherever. As I read some of my comments that come under my videos, I've actually come to understand why Black women are gonna stay losing, why they keep losing, why they ain't never gonna win. The video that I made about Black women being at the bottom is real. And it's gonna continue to be true as long as Black women can't come to grips with nothing. The first problem is that you're delusional. Black women are super delusional. You believe everything about yourself that's not true. Stuff like you doing the best you can. You've been abandoned by the men. You being forced to do everything alone. Stuff like you on a high level. But you on a high level based on what? First of all, let's deal with you doing the best you can. If this is the best you can, I would hate to see what the worst you can looks like. Black women, you cannot be believing in your heart of hearts that collectively you're doing the very best that you can, and that you're being the best representative of yourself that you possibly can be. There's no way, with the amount of debauchery and stupidness and sluttiness and just ridiculousness and shamefulness that the collective of Black women are engaged in, there's no possible way that you can look somebody straight in the face and say you're doing the best you can. Based on whose measuring stick? The best according to what? Relative to who? The best under what circumstances? Like, I'm confused. I'm confused about the delusional state of being that you're in, the state of mind that you're in. Do you not see none of this stuff going on around you? So you just don't see none of this? None of that. And I'm not talking about what celebrities are doing. I'm not talking about what somebody on reality TV is doing. I know you live your life through Real Housewives, but I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about your everyday average Black woman that makes her opinions known and spread all over the internet via social media. Y'all mean to tell me y'all don't see the misandry that you're doing? You don't see how you hate Black men? That's not a thing to y'all? You don't see that? You don't see the way you represent yourself, the way your appearance is so jacked up? You don't see that? You don't see how you always deflect and defend the worst of you? You defend the worst of you. This is why can't nobody take Black women seriously and why you keep losing, because there's no differentiation. Under the guise of the gynocracy and sisterhood, you would defend the most ratchet of Black women. You would defend it, even as you say, well, I don't really defend what they doing, and then you will come behind that and say, but, and then defend it. Deflect away from it. Minimize how bad it is. Then you get to talking about what you've done good or how somebody needs to talk about the positive. But I'm trying to figure out which positives. When your household is in shambles, which positives are we talking about? When you keep destroying your children, what positives are we talking about? When there's no stability in the home, what positives are we talking about? When you claim to be the most educated, but your children are not, what positives are we talking about? You want to talk about your degrees and how you don't went to school, but why your sons can't read? Your sons in grammar school, that you supposed to be in charge of their education. I don't care how many schools you send them to. You as mama, you're in charge of his education. How dare you sit somewhere and brag about what kind of education you got and your 8th grade son is reading at a 5th grade level? Knock it off. The delusion is so real with y'all. And it's astounding. And I'm disgusted because I just don't understand living a life of lies like that. When you just surround yourself with I'm just going to lie to myself every day. I'm going to tell myself I'm doing okay. I'm going to tell myself I'm doing right by people. I'm doing right by myself. You really believe that you're doing right by your community, and I don't understand how you can feel that way with the community being in shambles. You wanted to be the leader of it. You wanted to be in charge of it. This is where I get lost with y'all. Then you defend shameless behavior. You defend the bonnets and the fighting and the twerking. How many black women showed up under my video about that I did about the twerking on the table that defended it? This is why I don't take you seriously. Because if you defended it, you the type to jump up on the table and twerk in the middle of the day in whatever restaurant you at, where it's completely inappropriate for you to do that. Don't even see the inappropriateness of it. Even if you say, well, no, it's not appropriate, you still kind of defended it. Well, it's just twerking. You act like it's a big deal. Yes, it is a big deal. You delusional about your appearance value. You don't care nothing about it. Nothing. You hide behind why should you care what other people think? It matters what other people think to a large degree in a lot of cases. You got this delusion about what freedom is and how people ain't supposed to judge you when all you do is judge everybody. So why would you be exempt from it? These are the things that I'm lost about. Y'all are losing me with this. This is why you gonna stay at the bottom. This is why black women stay losing. This is why you ain't gonna get nowhere. You ain't gonna never get nowhere. As long as you continue with the deflections and the delusions about everything and the defense of every kind of behavior just because a black woman engaged in it, it can't be criticized, it can't be talked about. Like y'all will sit and cap and be like, yeah, black women got problems. But you know what I ain't never heard? I ain't never heard one of you gynocrats or hyenas actually state what problems black women got that don't have something to do with deflecting about black men. That's what I ain't never heard. I have never ever heard, not one time, one of you gynocrats sit there and enumerate 5 issues that the collective of black women have that don't have nothing to do with society, what somebody made you do, or what black men ain't doing that gives you an excuse to do what you do. I've never heard actual accountability because y'all don't know what that word means. Matter of fact, I take that back. You do know what accountability means. That's why you dodging all day. Dodging accountability keep you losing. You ain't gonna never win because you stay with fake standards. You stay with fake everything. Everything is fake and phony about you. Everything is a falsehood. Everything is a facade. Everything is cap. Everything is just It's just not real. Everything is smoke and mirrors with you. You always got to try to keep up the appearance of something. What about actually working on it? You want to keep up the appearance of being on top of your game. But what about being actually on top of your game? Whatever happened to that? That's what I get confused about. Then let's not get on the excuses and the deflection. You got an excuse for everything. Black women got an excuse for everything. And you pass them off as reasons. It's a thin line between an excuse and a reason. You can have a reason why you're doing something, but y'all go dead off into excuses about it. Even the video I did about the woman killing her kids, there was defense of that. There was defenses of that. And deflection about, well, how many black men do it? Like, does that excuse the fact that this woman sat up and killed her kids? Have we sunk that far, black women, that we can excuse even the murder of children no matter what just because a black woman did it? So she should be excused. She's exempt from any amount of wrongdoing, no matter how heinous it is, no matter how indefensible it is. Y'all always got a defense force. The hyena gynocracy defense force. Like it's real. Everything wrong with you. You can always point to the black man. You can point to white women. And you can point to society. But you know something I noticed? Somebody you don't never blame for nothing that go on with you. You don't never blame white men. You never blame white men. White men ain't never your problem. That's your savior. Every time you bring up white men, you bring them up in a way to put them above black men. That's when you bring white men up. You never say, well, this system is evil and all of the stuff that I'm going through in society is bad because white men made the society, so therefore they're the enemy. You never say that. Anybody ever notice that? Put a 1 in the chat if you notice that part. Everybody is the culprit except for you and white men. Black men is evil, no good, no account trash. White women is evil, no good, no account trash. You'll never say that about white men. He the only blame. You and him is the only two blameless characters in this whole sordid play. And I find that to be extremely interesting. If you know questions, you just make excuses about it. You never come to know truth. Your whole illusions, excuses. You make excuses about men and then say it ain't none. You make these fake cap standards about them. He need to make 6 figures. He need to be 6 feet. He need a 6-pack. His eggplant need to be of an astronomical size. Because you done got stretched out by 50,000 men. So, you know, he got to come through like gangbusters to do anything to you. Knowing you ain't qualified for none of that. Even if you were to meet that man, you ain't qualified for him. You don't meet the standard at all. You can just watch a Kevin Samuel show and get that part. They come up there talking about what kind of man they want. Then when you get to asking them 1 or 2 questions about who she is, she ain't graduated high school. She got 2, 3, 4 kids, 2, 3 baby daddies. She 28, look like she 38. Ran through life, just done ran over. Then when she ain't qualified to get that kind of man, black men ain't sugar, honey, iced tea, she can't find one, they don't exist. Girl, boop, knock it off. Ain't nobody trying to hear none of that stuff. Y'all gonna stay losing. Black women as a collective are gonna stay losing if you keep being delusional, if you keep having excuses, and you keep deflecting away from your issues. So sound off in the comment section. Do you agree this is why black women gonna stay losing? Once again, sound off in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I am your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.